你敢信吗？你以为自己正脚踏实地，稳稳当当地走在1楼的宽阔广场上，结果竟然悬空在22楼，底下汽车小得像蚂蚁。你以为火车都是在地上规规矩矩跑的？不，这里的轻轨是直接在半空中硬生生穿透19层居民楼的。今天2只来自南非的野生老外，一头扎进了中国最魔幻的8D赛博朋克之城。接下来请准备好你的下巴，因为这俩老外的三观即将被彻底按在地上疯狂摩擦。
We're on the ground floor right now, but we might be on the 22nd floor, or maybe the 4th floor, or maybe the 8th floor. We just never know.
Get ready for your
Buildings. Oh my gosh, that is insane.
大家好，我是小薇，欢迎大家观看今天的节目。今天的主角是来自南非的一对情侣旅游博主 Chevy 和 Dev。 这俩人平时满世界溜达，在国外也算见多识广了。来中国的前几周，他们刚去过上海的外滩，爬过北京的长城，本以为已经摸透了中国的繁华底细，但万万没想到，当他们坐了3个小时飞机，落地中国中部的这座城市时，俩人直接蒙圈了。一场刘姥姥进大观园式的震撼教育就此拉开帷幕。视频的开始，这俩老外站在市中心的解放碑广场上，整个人都是大写的迷茫。为什么呢？因为在来中国之前，他们甚至连这座城市的名字都没听过，更别提怎么发音了。但当他们真正站在这里的那一刻，西方媒体给他们塑造的刻板印象瞬间被击碎。
biggest city in China, one of the biggest municipalities in the world.
And this is probably a place I never ever expected to come to because I didn't know it even existed.
In 2010, there were 9 million people living in the city, and now there are over 30 million people, which shows again the rapid modernization and globalization that China is having.
没错，这里就是拥有3000万人口的魔幻山城重庆。3000万人口是什么概念？把好几个欧洲小国家的人口捆一块儿都没这么多人。David 站在广场上，看着四周高耸入云、极具压迫感的摩天大楼，还有大楼外墙上播放着机器人的巨大裸眼 3D 屏幕，整个人都看傻了。西方媒体天天忽悠老外，说中国这不行那不行，结果人家随便掏出一个老外连名字都不会念的城市，繁华程度和科技感就直接秒杀纽约、伦敦。不出意外的话，这俩老外的没见过世面之旅马上就要进入高潮了。第一站，他们一头扎进了重庆著名的81好吃街。大中午的，这里已经是人山人海，五颜六色的霓虹灯牌闪瞎人眼，动感的音乐震天响。Chevy 一进去就感叹，这哪里是普通的商业街，这分明就是感官过载的赛博朋克美食世界啊。
The cyberpunk city, I get it now.
Everything looks amazing.
People are going absolutely crazy.
You've got seafood, you've got other sorts of meat, chicken, beef, anything that you can think of.
So here we've got duck. I think that's duck as well. What is this? Oh, ice cream? Pinchiling?
Oh my gosh.
Look at the ice cream flavors. Got faces on.
Is that chili?
Chili ice
Chili
cream.
oil, chili ice cream.
哈哈，看到红彤彤的辣椒冰淇淋，老外直接破防了。在重庆，连空气里都飘着火锅底料的麻辣味。对于这2个来自南非的老外来说，这里的饮食文化简直离谱到不敢信。但更离谱的还在后头，他们走着走着，突然看到一口巨大的铁锅，里面翻滚着深红色的粘稠液体和密密麻麻的干辣椒。一个店员正拿着一把大铁锹在里面疯狂搅拌。
Giant cauldron of, I think it's actually chili oil or mala soup. So what they do is they shove all the oil, all the chilies in here. They've even got a little temperature gauge and a giant, it looks like a shovel, but it's a giant spoon to swivel it around. This
This is so cool. Oh my word. Oh.
Is
it's
it
so
heavy?
thick. It's actually really heavy because this is a really thick mixture.
Whoa.
Well, I don't know if I'm doing the correct.
You're
Do you do
supposed to
this?
swivel.
It's supposed to swirl.
That is insane.
So it sits and sets with all of these red chilies in. So they put it into these.
咱就是说，老外哪里见过用铁锹炒菜的阵仗。David 兴奋地跑过去，非要亲自体验一把搅拌火锅底料的快感。结果双手握住木柄一发力，脸都憋红了，直呼太重了，根本搅不动。当得知这玩意儿冷却后会变成像砖头一样厚实的固体火锅底料，还能真空包装带回家时，俩人惊得下巴都快掉地上了。不过要说整条街最让他们怀疑人生的，还得是一家地下特产超市。两人顺着粉色的台阶走下去，原本只是想随便逛逛，结果刚到柜台前， Chevy 就吓得倒吸一口凉气。 只见几个大盆里整整齐齐地码放着一堆不明生物的头部。
Sort of skull, I don't know. What is that? Is it a beaver? It's got teeth.
These are teeth in the front.
That's definitely the head of something. It looks like a body.
Where's the body?
Where's the body? This is a giant.
笑死我了，家人们！海狸，神特么海狸！咱就是说，麻辣兔头在四川和重庆那可是夜市里的灵魂美食，人间极品。结果在这俩老外眼里，硬生生给推理成了没有身体的海狸头骨。看着他们对着兔头的眼窝、鼻子和那2颗标志性的大门牙指指点点，满脸写着我是谁，我在哪，这玩意儿能吃吗？我隔着屏幕都快笑岔气了。逃离了海狸头的恐惧，他们又在街上看到了各种刷新认知的奇葩小吃，比如排着长龙的脆骨杯，把炸得金黄酥脆的鸡脆骨堆在饮料杯上面，还有各种土豆的神奇做法，什么土豆夹心、鱿鱼土豆，甚至还有一个摊位上卖着一种红彤彤、亮晶晶、像假的一样的发光水果。
It's luminescent.
It's got to be a Chongqing fruit because it's neon.
Ni
Ni hao.
What is this? It looks like some sort of prune. And
David 一边咽口水一边感叹，中国的美食完全在另一个维度，不仅好吃，而且创意无限，这脑洞西方人8辈子也想不出来。逛吃之后，真正让他们三观震碎的环节来了。吃饱喝足的2人走到一个看似非常普通的宽阔广场上，周围是古色古香的建筑和现代大楼，一切看起来都岁月静好。David 还一本正经地对着镜头解说重庆的建筑有多牛。结果 Shafi 走到白色护栏边，往下一指。
we're actually on the 22nd floor.
Be looking down.
That's insane. Look at this. You would have no idea that you're on the 22nd floor right now. But look over. That's absolutely wild. And we can see over there.
前一秒还在悠闲散步，感觉自己踏踏实实踩在地球表面，下一秒发现自己竟然站在22楼的悬空广场上，底下的汽车小得像火柴盒，甚至还有空中廊桥把2栋大楼连接在一起。这就是重庆独步天下的8D 魔幻地形，因为整座城市是依山傍水，建在陡峭的悬崖上的，所以建筑都是层叠出来的。为了搞清楚自己到底在哪，他们走进了一栋大楼。
We're on the 12th floor. But here's where it gets even crazier. If you follow me to this ledge, here, that's the ground floor. And over there is the road.
But is that the ground floor?
Is that the ground floor? Is that the 22nd floor or the 12th floor or the 8th floor? Where's the ground floor? That is Chongqing in a nutshell.
看着老外被重庆的地形折磨得怀疑人生，大脑 CPU 疯狂烧干的样子，我真想对他们说，别找了，放弃挣扎吧。在重庆，连导航都会迷路，你们能找着北泉靠祖师爷赏饭吃。从22楼出来是马路，坐电梯到12楼出来是马路，再下到9楼出来，嘿，还是一条大马路。这种把物理空间折叠到极致的城市规划，直接给老外上了一波降维打击。接下来，为了体验传说中的穿楼轻轨，他们决定去坐地铁。结果，这又是一次刷新认知的震撼体验。
The rail, which goes down even further. Every set of stairs, that's 1 floor, 2 floors, 3 floors. Okay, so this goes down another 4 floors. Now that we've come down 4 floors, on this side, underground world, there's now an entire subway station.
老外哪里见过这种阵仗？跟着人流连下7、8层楼梯，仿佛要深入地心探险一样。结果在地下极深的地方，竟然藏着一个庞大、干净、灯火通明、极其现代化的地铁网络。更让他们惊掉下巴的是票价，2个人坐地铁穿越大半个城市，竟然只要4块钱人民币。一位外国网友 Sohandi Wijaya 评论道：“中国就是一个很好的例子，纳税人的钱真正回馈给了人民。公共交通、基础设施建设，使8.5亿人摆脱了贫困，并降低了生活成本。过去几10年里，人民的生活水平有了显著提高。确实，对于来自南非这种连像样的公共交通都没有，出门全靠开车，晚上还不敢随便溜达的国家的人来说，中国这种极其便利、安全感拉满、物价低到震惊的基础设施，简直就是科幻电影里的外星科技。他们花了2块钱刷码进站，坐上了绿色的2号线单轨列车。神奇的是，刚才还在地下7、8层列车一开动，竟然冲出了地面，在树冠之上、江水之畔的高架桥上飞驰。终于，他们来到了传说中的李子坝站。
that we just came into, you can see all the other buildings and look at all the people looking here, viewing this train, and that's where we're going to. But I've seen here it says, do not pop head out. So I'm not going to pop my head out. Okay, let's go down and show you what this train looks like as it enters this building.
From the ground / not ground floor.
You can see this light rail is actually a monorail on this line. It's absolutely crazy. Look, this is where people live. Let's go see it from below.
当他们走出车站，下到1楼的观景平台上，和成千上万的中国游客一起仰头看着那辆白绿相间的列车，伴随着轰鸣声，精准地驶入一栋19层居民楼的肚子里时，刻板印象彻底被击碎了。Dev 感叹，成千上万的人聚集在这里，拿着手机疯狂拍照，仅仅是为了看一个火车站。这种将交通工具与居民楼完美融合，既节约空间又充满赛博朋克感的设计，在西方人眼里简直就是不可思议的工程奇迹。
Gosh, that is insane. Okay, I get it. That is really, really cool. That train runs through this building every 2 minutes. The train is coming in, the train is exiting. It's absolutely bamboozling to us as foreigners or Westerners that have never ever seen this before. And coming from South Africa, this is way, way, way beyond anything that we have in our own country. We don't even have a metro system. For us to see this in person is totally mind-blowing. 你好 It's so cool that whenever I grab the mic and everyone's recording, I kind of just gain and it's just because they're curious, that's all. And it's very cool to see.
夜幕降临，重庆这座城市褪去了白天的灰蒙雾气，披上了它最华丽的霓虹战袍。Chevy 和 Dev 走在解放碑附近的广场上，刚好遇到了一场几百人参与的街头尊巴舞快闪。
And German music.
看着广场上无论是中国的大妈大叔，还是充满活力的年轻人，大家都在动感的异域音乐中毫无顾忌地释放活力。老外被这种纯粹的快乐深深感染了。西方媒体总是把中国描绘成一个压抑刻板、没有自由的地方，但眼前这充满烟火气、安全感拉满、人民安居乐业的画面，让那些抹黑的谣言不攻自破。随后他们来到了此行的最高潮——洪崖洞。当那片依山而建、高达11层的传统吊脚楼建筑群在夜色中亮起璀璨夺目的金黄色灯光时， Chev 直接在街头尖叫出声。
Cyberpunk heaven. We have officially made it into probably the craziest attraction here in Chongqing.
Right behind me, you can see all of the neon lights, and this shows that Chongqing is a cyberpunk city.
This is exactly what we came for, and we are right in the thick of it. Everybody has come around here.
Behind me is a long street where they're selling lots of delicious street food.
There's drinks, there's food, there's chili stalls, there's everything that you can think of.
Hello, ni hao. Hello.
Hello. Finally look at this Hongyadong building.
This is cyberpunk on another level. I feel like I'm in a sci-fi movie, and you can see how the skyscrapers are layered all the way up the mountain.
I finally see what all
好家伙，这分明就是现实版的《千与千寻》啊！红彤彤的灯笼，古香古色的飞檐翘角，热闹非凡的商铺，而在这片传统建筑的背后和头顶，却是极具未来感的现代摩天大楼和跨江大桥。传统文化与未来科技在这里发生了最极致的碰撞，让这俩老外彻底看呆了。他们走在洪崖洞拥挤的街道上，感受着中国人的热情与友善。Chevy 甚至在人群中还遇到了一位想免费送他一朵玫瑰花的浪漫路人。这一切的美好与善意都与西方媒体口中那个危险的中国截然不同。看到这里，网友皇冠评论道，这就是为什么西方媒体警告你不要去中国旅行，因为一旦你去过中国，你就会想再去一次。这句话简直说到了点子上。西方媒体之所以拼命掩盖真实的中国，制造信息壁垒，就是怕他们的人民发现，原来在遥远的东方，有一座如此迷人、如此安全、如此发达、人民如此幸福的赛博朋克之城。一旦谎言被拆穿，他们苦心经营的优越感就荡然无存了。在视频的最后， Chev 站在灯火辉煌的洪崖洞前，看着远处的千丝门大桥和江对岸的灯光秀，对着镜头说出了一段发自肺腑的感言。
going to be one of the most well-known places in the world. And when I say nobody, I mean no Westerners are here. On probably a whirlwind of a video today where we said this is a place that you've never heard of, but now I think you won't forget Chongqing. If you
全世界都羡慕的顶级夜景，令无数国人骄傲的基建狂魔，竟然在西方世界鲜为人知，连一个外国游客都看不到。Chef 的这番话不仅是对重庆这座城市的最高赞美，更是对西方信息茧房的一记最响亮的耳光。这趟中国之旅对于这对南非情侣来说，绝对是物超所值，大开眼界。他们带着满脑子的问号和偏见来，最终却带着满心的震撼、敬意和不舍离开。中国的魅力从来不需要刻意粉饰，也无惧任何抹黑。只要你亲自踏上这片土地，去吃一顿热气腾腾的火锅，去坐一次穿楼而过的轻轨，去感受一下夜晚广场上的微风和人群的笑脸，那些关于中国的刻板印象自然会烟消云散。好了，本期节目就到这里。看着老外被咱们的大好河山和魔幻基建震撼得一愣一愣的，这心里别提多自豪多痛快了。如果你觉得节目做得还不错，看得也挺爽，那请你给我的视频点个赞支持一下吧，谢谢您的支持。订阅我，我们一起期待下一期精彩内容吧，拜拜。